Hi everyone, welcome to Ishi TV. I'm Ekta Kapoor, and today I'm talking to the award winning British actor, playwright, and the co founder of the Tamasha Theatre Company, Sudha Butcher. Sudha was the co artistic director of Tamasha for 26 years. The company was famous for its award winning comedy East is East. Sudha also wrote the scripts for Balti Kings, 14 Songs, Two Weddings and a Funeral, Strictly Dandiya, and A Fine Balance, which she also acted in. She's now the artistic director of Butcher Boulevard. She's not only one of the best known names in British theatre, she's also a film actor. Her most recent film, Mughal Mowgli, is the story of a British Pakistani rapper who is struck down by disease. And in another Amazon Prime film that releases this month called Into Dust, Sudha plays the role of activist Akhila Ismail, sister of Parveen Rahman, who was a social activist in Karachi before she was murdered. I'm speaking today to Sudha about her role and a whole lot of other things. Today we have with us Sudha Butcher, and welcome to Ishi TV.
Thank you.
So happy to have you here, and very excited to talk to you about your film Into Dust, which is being released this month. So why don't you tell us about your experiences, shooting the film, and what was your feedback after learning about the lives of Parveen Rahman and Akhila Ismail?
Yes, thank you. I mean, it is the most extraordinary true story of activist Parveen Rahman, who was shot by the water mafia in Karachi when she was trying to expose the kind of widespread theft of water. I play the sister Akila, the older sister. I mean, it was the most incredible experience, first of all, finding out about the story, and then just being drawn into like how urgent and necessary it was to have a film about it. And it's been a real privilege to play Akila. So quite a kind of extraordinary journey really for me, working with Orlando, which felt like a very, very collaborative experience.
And you must have also gone into the research about their lives. What was the most striking thing that impressed you maybe?
I had watched The Rebel Optimist, which was a documentary there that existed about Praveen, the most extraordinary woman who, at a time when they were quite pioneering, both sisters. She studied, they went through the sort of turmoil because they lived in Dhaka in Bangladesh. So how they were uprooted from there, came to Karachi as refugees, but, went on to study architecture, town planning, and, Akila studied engineering, So they were quite extraordinary women. And then to have something like this happen in your life, which is the most awful tragedy, and still from that, what it has given Akila is a sort of strength of purpose and, wanting justice for the death of her sister, but also to continue her work and, to not be sort of quiet, but in fact the opposite. And I found all that really extraordinary, but also the very personal research. I read things that Akila had written about their childhood, Praveen and her love of animals, and she would just, rescue stray dogs, and, she became a vegetarian, and how, she was also interested in looking good, and she had her sort of signature silver jewelry, and, Akila is the kind of protective older sister. I find all that kind of research really helpful as well, because it was important to bring her voice, and texture and nuance to the voice as well.
That's great. And your last film was also on a very important subject, Mughal Mowgli. So can you tell us a little about your role in that and how was the experience?
Yes, in Mughal Mowgli, I play Riz Ahmed's mum, and it's a story of a boy, a man who sort of finds himself at the pinnacle of his career as a rap singer, but then also facing a life-threatening illness, and how he has to come back to the home which he wanted to leave behind, for all its kind of trauma and memories. So yeah, I mean, she's a sort of anchor of the family, but very much trying to boost the son and the father, while herself kind of, keeping the family together, really. So, what was lovely about that is, I played the whole kind of character in Urdu. We had a chance to sort of contribute by improvising and, working with Riz and Ali Khan was really quite special, really.
You were born, you were raised in Tanzania, and then most of your life, of course, you spent it in the UK. So, can you tell us a little about how your identity as a South Asian has shaped your work in theatre?
I mean, I was born in Tanzania, but I also spent time in India. Funnily enough, I was in Chandigarh during the same, the 1971 India-Pakistan war, when Akila and Praveen would have been fleeing, from Bangladesh. So I've had a childhood where I went from Africa, India, Norfolk, London. So, my identity is kind of quite a hybrid of everything. I'm a Punjabi, my identity is the reason why I'm in the arts. It's not something I set out to do. I didn't go to drama school, studied maths and sociology at university. But it was through joining Tara Arts that I got interested in theatre. And it was very much connected to who we were, how we found ourselves in UK, the links of colonialism, our literature, our stories. And that's something that has driven my career. And so, playing Akila in a story like this, it's very, very important that these untold stories come to the fore, and especially stories like, the legacy of Praveen Rahman, because, it is about bigger global connections, the scarcity of water that affects everyone. The messages are larger than the sort of personal stories that are depicted.
That's right. Also, like over the years, you must have noticed how universal, Indian motifs and Indian culture has become, and around the world, people now recognize a lot of things about, like for instance, yoga, or in your video with your son, you talked about sambar and things like that. So, how do you feel about this in the sense that as more Indians are making their way around the world, do you find that more and more people are very comfortable with Indian culture now?
I mean, yes, I mean, I've, obviously seen that happen the age that I am, when I used to be wearing salwar kameezes. And I mean, I do yoga, it's like a lifeline for me. But, when I first started doing it, hardly anyone was doing it. And it was absolutely on the fringes. And, there would be one Iyengar class, and you'd have to go and make sure you were a devotee, whereas now it's everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And food, of course, chicken tikka masala was the most replaced fish and chips as the most popular dish. And it's actually a British invention, because I don't think you can go to the subcontinent and get chicken tikka masala. So, I mean, it is great to see that, but also it can be, we need to be in more depth. We don't, it's not, at one level it can be seen as superficial, but at another level, it just gets into the fabric of, UK society, which is great, I think.
And another aspect of theater now is, of course, the technology and social media and OTT channels. You're now coming out in a film, Into Dust is on Amazon Prime, which is accessible to people around the world, anyone who has an Amazon Prime account. So, how do you think all these these new developments have impacted theater?
I mean, I think, I'm a bit of a technophobe, so I'm not somebody who is readily and using social media in a huge way. But obviously during the pandemic, like a lot of people, like I also did my work, online. I was doing a project called Touchstone Tales with Revolution Arts and Wellcome Collection, and it was exploring the theme of touch with the local communities in Luton. And, we were talking about that during a time of absence of touch, and using social media as a way of communicating, doing our workshops. And indeed, the performances, right where I'm sitting here now talking to you is where I had to do my performances of the kind of portraits of people that I wrote. So yes, it's been it's democratized the arena, I suppose. But a lot of people are now saying, people do miss going to the theatre and having a shared experience where, myself included, where you're breathing the same air as the people around you, and as the performers. And I don't think that's going to go away. But of course, for something like Into Dust, it is brilliant that the film is opening on a global online channel, and it needs to be readily watched and readily available, because the central message of it is for people to understand that this basic human right of water is something that is under threat. By watching the lives of Praveen Rahman and her legacy, we can all be part of that conversation.
And that's another interesting thing that I wanted to highlight, that in India, there isn't so much conversation about women activists from Pakistan. I mean, within certain groups, yes, but not mainstream conversation. And a film like this that is being released on our channels, I mean, we can watch it as well. It definitely does a lot for creating awareness about this and about women who've really gone beyond the call of duty and really put their lives on the line. What is your take? You've acted now in two films. Both of them have a Pakistani character or real life references. Living in the UK, how do you look at the question of peace in South Asia, and especially India-Pakistan peace?
I mean, for me, again, it's a very personal connection. I mean, I'm married to a Pakistani, so we have mixed heritage kids, and indeed, my kids, when they were 17, their school has connections with schools in India that they fundraised for. So the kids got a chance to go to India and spend 3 weeks. But while their white friends got their visas online, instantly, we had to fight to get visas for our sons, because of their fathers being born in Rawalpindi, made them sort of potential enemies of the state, or I don't know what. So those kind of things, they are troubling. I wrote a play in 2006 called Child of the Divide, which is inspired by Bhisham Sahani's short story called Pali, about a Hindu boy that gets lost. He's brought up by a Muslim childless couple, and then his real father tries to, find him. So I think all those themes of kind of belonging and, the subcontinent and its troubled history, they do, I'm very affected by that. And, the quest for peace is something that I feel quite personally, really.
So since we're talking about your sons, can you tell us a little more about their interests? Are they also interested in theatre?
I mean, the thing is, through my work, they have developed a love for theatre, but they're not, they haven't gone into the theatre. Both of them study economics. My older son, he has graduated. My younger son is studying also economics. They both went to Durham University. They're very interested in kind of global what's happening. That connects us in the world. Equity, all politics, how economics can be a force for good. So they are, and but yeah, they take an interest in my work, and also their identity. My older son, went to India after graduation for 5 weeks. And he went with 3 English friends, and he's actually seen more of India than I have in those 5 weeks. So they are very interested in their kind of their dual, multiple identities.
That's great. And so tell us, what are the kind of films that you watch?
I mean, the kind of films that I like to watch, again, I really do love sort of human stories that tell wider stories. I mean, I love this film recently called Rocks, by Sarah Gavron. Films like Lion, which was the true story of the lost boy from India who then grew up in Australia and, found his old home. And so those kind of stories I find really kind of very powerful.
And you enjoy reading as well. Of course, you're a writer, so.
I do, yes. I mean, reading like yoga is another lifeline. I've always got a book on the go. So the books I've been reading Elif Shafak recently, Three Daughters of Eve, 40 Rules of Love. I also read this new book called Burnt Sugar. I think it was a book shortlisted by Avni Doshi.
Yeah.
Reading it. Yeah, and I'm also interested in philosophy and I mean self-help and like coaching and that kind of mindfulness. So I read a lot of nonfiction as well.
Great. So lovely talking to you, Sudha. And
You too.
I wish you all the best for Into Dust and for all the other projects that you're working on. And
So
hope to
much.
see you
Thank you.
soon again.
I hope so. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Visit us on ishi.in and like and follow us on Ishi World.